up, you guys? Welcome to another episode of Ask Alex, where this is a show where I take all your questions and answer them here on this show. But today I'm going to do another interview with someone I've been following for the last actually year or so. I interviewed some of her predecessors like Troy Skinner and James M. Black, who are really good dudes. So I was inspired by some of the stuff that she has done in the last actually few weeks and months from some of her skits and stuff that she has posted on her Instagram and other social medias. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to welcome Miss Jalysa Harris to my show. How are you doing today, Jalysa?
I'm so good. This is so exciting. It is so cool.
Well, I'm so glad to have you on the show. Like I said, you're actually one of the breaking through actors with Troy Skinner and a whole lot of you guys. I've noticed that there's like at least like 50 or 60 of you guys. I'm like, whoa, it's like a
Well, the class, we have two classes, Monday and Friday, and it's about 15 to 16 of us in each. So, for Monday or Friday. So that's probably why it expands. And then you can graduate from that class. You can get liberated from that class. Or you can feel like you've gotten enough from that class and just kind of spread your own wings, but you're still a part of it. You know what I mean? So I think that's why it's so many of us, because we just never let you go. You know what I mean? It's always going to be on you, in you, whatever.
Yeah, and that's actually pretty cool. And when I did the interview with Choice, we talked after and even before the interview, and he's like a really, really good deep dude, and I consider him like one of my older brothers. But I wanted
Yes.
to ask you,
Yes.
how did you get started in all of in acting, and like where do your roots come from in this business?
Oh my God. I did it in like elementary for a second. It was like a little play we did. And then I went to the University of Laverne and got introduced into theater because I went for business, I went for medicine. I was like on a whole nother path, thinking I was going to be a pediatrician or something. I didn't know what I wanted to do, but I knew I wanted to do something with kids. And Laverne is where I got introduced to theater. A teacher named Stephen Kent, who recently passed away a couple years ago, showed me what acting was and showed me like how dope it was to be able to not become another person, but to tell somebody else's story. And I feel like being able to do that from being a writer and a poet myself was like kind of compelling and new to me. And so I really pursued it. And Latia Solomon is an alum as well from Breaking Through. Amazing, beautiful director, writer, you name it. She introduced me to the class, and that was March of 2017. So, yeah, it's been that journey from college to just friends on set. Hey, come here. And I found my home there.
Oh wow, no, that's amazing. It seems like you guys are like one big family. Like you guys have known each other for years. When I interviewed James, he was
Mm,
basically telling me like, Choice is like the big brother you've always wanted. And I was just
yeah.
wondering like, because you spoke earlier, how you got introduced into the Breaking Through acting workshop. But I wanted to know how closely do you work with those actors on your set or the
Oh
different
my
sets?
man, I can't escape them. I mean, from the class, we are doing scenes together, we're doing exercises together. Some of them involve intimacy, where we have to be comfortable with actually kissing this person or dry humping this person because it may be a movie, role that's going to call that on me. So I need to know where my comfortability line is. And so you test yourself in that class, and you do that with those people that you trust. Then when you get out of class, you go to set, you book these auditions, you book these movies. There they are. They're in the room with you. They're about to audition, or they're your partner, or they're your reader, or something like that. So it's like I can't escape them. And then we call on each other. Hey, I want to write my own content. I need a partner. I know what you can do. Come be a part of my scene. So it's just complete, like you said, family. It's just complete camaraderie. Like we really just rely on each other, trust each other, call upon each other, and they're gonna be here because they're dope, you know. So you're always gonna see them, and we're always gonna be around each other. It seems.
No, now that's actually pretty awesome. And I noticed you guys create like your own original content. And I've noticed particular on your page, there is a scene that you did. It seemed like you were on an episode of Suits. Were you were that an actual episode or was
No,
that like
no, no,
oh, okay.
no, no, no. We, like I said, we do these scenes in class. We've done
Mhm,
movie scenes, things that you recognize from Baby Boy to Godfather to Scarface.
mhm,
And I knew I needed kind of like a hoity-toity, businessy type
mhm,
look. And I hit my boy up, Tony Bartel. And I was like, we need a scene, find something, you know.
mhm,
So we're going through our library that we have tons of scripts that we've done, tons of scenes that we've done that we keep. And he found three from I think three from Suits, and then one of them just really spoke to me. And we found an office, did the scene, shot it, and I was like, "That's going on my reel." That was it. It was just some
mhm,
real work, and then
mhm,
people thought it was like from the show.
mhm,
And I'm like, "Okay, I did it. You know, mission
mhm,
accomplished." Like
mhm,
I did that, and it wasn't supposed to be that, but that was a
mhm.
really dope reaction.
Yeah, I thought it was from the show. Like, I actually watch Suits a lot. It's one of my favorite USA shows. And I was like, I'm scrolling through my library. I'm like, where's this episode? Like,
And
I'm trying to find it.
never really watched the show. Like I
Mhm,
knew about it and I caught up on it later, but
mhm,
I never really watched the show. It was just a scene that was he found, and I thought the dialogue was great.
mhm. Now, actually, one of my favorite skits that you put out, like, I want to say a month or so ago, where you show up at your boyfriend's house and you like at the gate trying to call him and he doesn't like he like hangs up the phone and then you finally call him on the phone. He's like,
You like that one? Oh, like everybody liked the zoom in I was zoomed in on the
yeah, yeah,
photo. That one went viral, like
yeah,
millions of views.
yeah. I was
That
gonna
one
get
blew
into
up.
that one because that one's actually my second favorite. But the reason why I like the first one is because it's so it's for me it's more
Oh,
realistic.
it's so true.
Yeah.
It's so true. Oh my God, just jiving, man. Reggie Hawthorne. I've seen his videos. He worked with Latia, the girl I mentioned. He
Mhm,
worked with Camille, amazing girl,
mhm,
friend from Breaking Through as well.
mhm,
And I just hit him up like, I want to be a part of your videos. You know, you got sisters in there. I'm a sister,
mhm,
and he was down. Our chemistry is crazy. We write on the spot sometimes. Sometimes he'll send me like an idea of a script and then we'll just freestyle it, you know. And that one we kind of played with. I was at my old apartment, and I personally, I can pop up on somebody if I'm with you. So that was a whole new vibe and feel. And I just feel like in all of his videos, I'm just losing. Like I'm constantly taking an L.
mhm.
But I think that's why they like it so much, you know. But I do, I
Yeah.
love working with him, and I love that it speaks to people and their
Mhm,
relationships. And so now he's getting deeper. Now he's kind of staying away from comedy right now. He's going into
mhm,
like deeper topics and taboo topics.
mhm.
And so I'm excited to continue working with him.
Now the second one is actually a favorite of mine as well because it's now that one never spoke to me, but I know some homies that have gone through something like that and very
Oh
similar.
no.
And it's so funny because it's like you're in the car interrogating him about basically about yourself, but you don't even realize it's you. And I just want to ask you, and you don't have to answer this question if it's too much. But have you ever personally done that in your real life? Or is that just something that just, I went by the script?
Absolutely. I'm guilty of, I like to call it like a double check. Like I double check the phone, like, like I like I
Mhm,
side eye it, or I double check the phone just to see, like, am I tripping? Like, was he looking at something? I've done that to James. And it wasn't nothing. I think it was like a statue or of a flamingo that I was like, who is that on your page? Wait, which, and it was a statue of a flamingo. And I don't think it's an insecurity thing. I think it's just embedded in women where we really are curious of what our men are interested in, because they like us obviously, but they also may have a desire to look at something else that's not us, and it kind of piques your curiosity, like, oh well, if I know I'm his type, but what else is his type, and I think every woman wants to know, like, does he like blondes? Does he like them a little thicker or something? Like, we want to know. So now when I see a blonde head on your phone, I'm like, who is that? Do you know her? What's her name? Guilty. I think that's every woman. It's not an insecurity thing, though. I genuinely think it's just we want to know all sides of our men, because sometimes we feel like we don't get all of that at once, because they're gonna hide it. They're gonna hide it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Trust me. Like, I have a wife, so trust me. I know. I know.
And can I ask, is she, what is she? Is she black? She white?
She's black, yes.
Okay. But let's say you had an eye for Asian, hentai, other races or whatever. Bet you wouldn't tell her that, though.
I'm not gonna say anything on camera, but anyway, but nah. Like, I mean, I'm very honest about, like, of myself. So, but but for me, I'm just like, I'm content. Like, I try not to, get into things that could possibly lead me to any form of trouble. So,
which is exactly why we look.
Exactly. But before I continue, I want to shout out to James. Really good dude. Man, I love that guy. He's such a great dude. And I did want to ask you, how did you guys meet? Was it at the Breaking Through Acting workshop, or did you guys know each other way before then?
Technically, we did not meet in class, because when I was attending class, he was working on Black Lightning. He was like just locked away in a cave, working on Black Lightning while I was attending class. So I just heard of him, and everybody was just bragging about his editing skills and his acting skills and this, that, and the other. And so I was writing my own show, my own digital series, and I was like, ooh, I need a DP, I need an editor, I need this, I needed a team. So I was like, I'm gonna just ask him to help me with some visuals or that kind of thing. And that's strictly what it was. And so I hit him up on Facebook, just let him know I need a visual artist, maybe somebody that can vectorize my photos or something like that. And that was really how it started. Like, we just kept DMing each other, liking each other's pictures constantly. He finally came to class. We finally met. And it was like, oh, okay. Like, we get it all the time that we look alike. I didn't want to believe it. I did not want to believe it. Like, who wants to think that? But like, seeing him, I was like, okay. And so something about that intrigued me, and we hung out, and literally like the next day we were official. So it wasn't like, that, it was like fresh. And I'm going on 2 years now.
Oh, well, praise God, man. Like, continue growing, man. And I'm proud of you guys. But, it's really cool how you guys tell that story, because in a similar way, that's kind of how I met my wife. It's somewhat similar. But, it kind of led to some of the events that you kind of just mentioned. But I did want to ask, when you guys got together, did you guys ever think about doing projects? Because I noticed, like, with James, like, I've seen a lot of his reels on Instagram and just stuff that he posts, and I've seen your reels as well. Have you guys thought about doing like an actual like feature or short together?
All the time. All the time. Whatever he's writing, he's gonna put me in. Whatever I'm writing, I'm gonna put him in, or he's gonna be involved within some kind of way, if not in it, through it, or whatever. A lot of the shorts that I have done, like the most recent one, Color Lines, I did with the fellow breaking throughs as well.
Mm.
He was my sound guy.
Mm.
You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
he's gonna be there 10 feet away, just like I would
Mhm.
be. And yeah, we have a lot of stuff in the works. We have a lot of ideas, you know, because he's
Mhm.
into the Dragon Ball and the
Mhm.
anime and all of that. And I'm kind
Mhm.
of on a different level. So we're just trying to figure out where we fit. We like the idea of being superheroes. We like the idea of action.
Mhm.
I'm more of a drama, rom-com,
Mhm.
insecure kind of writer, and he doesn't really see himself in there.
Mhm.
So I'd have to like drag him along some kind of way. So yeah, constantly just trying to figure out where we're gonna fit in each other
Mhm.
work.
Now, are you into martial arts like he is as well?
Am I into it? Like, would I take a class? Yeah, I did.
Mhm.
What did I take? I took a little bit of. Oh well, he was showing me some bajuka. I might be saying that wrong.
Mhm.
Um, and I can't think of the name right now, but I have done martial arts pretty recently in the past like 2 years. It'll come to me like when I least expect it. Um,
Mhm.
but yeah, I did it in the park with my friend, and we
Mhm.
would just practice hitting the bag and stuff like that.
Oh,
So,
okay.
am I into it? Yes. Would I want to train and learn how to knife fight and tactical gun? Absolutely, absolutely. I would love to do that.
You know, and last time I talked to James when we did the interview, he said that he would love to do something like a Mortal Kombat movie, and or like be a part of one or actually star in one. And I told him I think he'd be a really good character named Raiden because he was previously Static in Black Lightning. Because
Yeah.
Black Lightning, Raiden, they have essentially the same powers. So the reason why I asked you if you like martial arts, I think that it would be dope to see like you guys in something like a Mortal Kombat style movie because you did mention like you guys looking like, and I'm not gonna lie, like, and I didn't say this to James earlier, but I thought at first like when originally
Your
started
brother
following
and sister. It's
y'all
okay.
brother and sister, I was like, cause I don't know when y'all smile, it's like I
Yeah.
don't know, but then obviously as I followed you guys more, I was like, okay,
The
clearly they're not.
cheekbones. It's
Yeah,
the cheekbones. We got
exactly.
crazy jawline and triggers. I know.
Exactly. But he did show me. He showed me actually on the show this picture of him as I guess like Goku. Um.
Going on to instinct.
Yeah, exactly. And it was just that was actually really cool. And I wanted to ask you, where did you get? Did he make it? And you just print it?
No, man. Ozzy Oz the Virus
Uh
is
huh.
his Instagram. It's spelled a little odd, but
Mm,
he is the creator of all of those like virtual cartoonistic Dragon Ball style people. And I saw him do one of Take My V Card. That guy's like hilarious, always doing reviews.
mm-hmm,
He did a rendition of him kind of in that way. And I was like, oh, I could totally do that with James. Because James already had like a mock drawing of it.
mm-hmm.
And so I was like, can we do that? But I want to do it. I said going Super Saiyan. Because I don't know how to watch the show.
Mm-hmm.
But someone said no. I think it's like the highest, which is Ultra Instinct,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like the most clearest level of clarity and focus, and that's where James needs to be,
Mm-hmm.
wants to be,
Mm-hmm.
has to be, and I just wanted to show him like, that's how
Mm-hmm.
we want you to be. That's how we see you. That's how we want you to be. And I
Mm-hmm.
think it showed him. It just reminds him like of his strength and his power and his capability, like every day, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a really good gift that I got for his birthday. And Ozzy Oz the Virus, Ozzy Oz, yes, the Virus with the virus. He's dope. Hit
Yeah,
him up. Hit him up. He's amazing. And really
definitely.
fair in pricing.
Mm-hmm.
Walk me through Walgreens, how to
Mm-hmm.
print it out, blow it up, all that. So he was dope for that.
Oh, okay, definitely shout out to him. And also, I wanted
Yeah.
to ask you, I wanted to ask you, what commercials? Because I'm not sure if I saw this correctly, but were you in a commercial where you were, I don't know, Choice posted it. It was I guess he was taking pictures of you. It was like during Valentine's Day, or was that James taking pictures of
Yeah,
you?
James took a picture of me and Valentine's.
Oh, was that I maybe I read that wrong, but was that a commercial or was that just photos y'all normally do? Or I don't know.
His photography, Moten underscore photography,
Mhm,
is so sick. That's James's photography page. And
mhm,
I knew I needed to do something for Valentine. I knew
mhm,
I'm very conscious of my appearance and my body. It's not something I just share.
mhm,
I it's been something like to get over. And honestly, class has been helping me with that, just getting past that like mental block from
mhm,
that.
mhm,
But yeah, no, those were just Valentine photos that I was able to be comfortable in my own skin in front of my boyfriend, taking the
mhm,
photos, and it was like the hardest thing to press in, Alex.
mhm,
Like pressing send was like the hardest thing. Coming up with a caption was the
mhm,
second hardest thing, and the
mhm,
hashtag is so much work in putting yourself out there. I think in the world, and
mhm,
yeah, it wasn't a no campaign, no nothing, just me
mhm.
representing the day.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I do apologize 'cause
No,
I thought it was.
thank you. That just speaks volumes on his professionalism. That's all that does.
But
That's how
where
dope it was.
now I did want to ask you, where do you draw your creativity from? Because I've noticed, especially on your Instagram, like there's this one photo of you dressed as Pam Grier in one of her like Pam Grier movies, and
Mm,
I've noticed that just like on not just your page, but a lot of you guys' pages, like you guys are putting out content, and whether it's photos or just or shorts or videos.
yeah,
Like I just want to know, as a creative and someone who
yeah.
considers himself an actor and director myself, like where do you guys draw that creativity from?
I would love to say like, oh, that's an inner thing, but I really do want to credit Choice because that class helps you realize who you are, what your boundaries are, what your fears are, and getting to like the root of it. And once you realize that you yourself are holding yourself back from feeling like you're enough, from feeling like who are you? Why would they listen to me? Why would I, like that's I have that. Everybody has that, I think. Because of that, we push ourselves. And I feel like he reminds you that you're enough, and put your work out there, put your poem out there, put your song out there, put your even like our self tapes, we'll put that out there. And it's like we're just burying ourselves, we're showing ourselves, because that's the only way that you're gonna become successful. It's the only way the world's gonna know about you. That's the only way you're gonna be embraced, is if you find your fearlessness, I think. And that's what we're doing, because can I cuss?
Yes.
We're
Did you
scared shitless.
wait, did you
We
see
are
James'
scared.
interview?
We're scared crazy shitless. Like, to even post that, like I said, to even press send and to be nude, to show our skin, to whatever it is. And it's just taking us day by day. Each sin that we push is like reminding us like we're enough, we're enough, we're enough, we're enough. And so I definitely think, and my mom, my dad did tell me that I was beautiful and I was great. I was validated when I was young, but something about that class kind of reaffirms it. And you start seeing other people around you and they become your inspiration. And it's just a constant, continual push. So as a creator, please know that there's an audience for you. Somebody's going through what you're going through. And even though you're like, who am I? only got 200 followers. Ain't nobody gonna listen to me. The first step out is to step out. So you can't expect the world to embrace you though until you embrace yourself. And that's another thing that I think it takes, is just knowing within like I'm enough. And then you can just put yourself out there. And I think we admire people that are fearless. Like if you think of who your favorite artist is and who your favorite rapper is, like Rihanna's my favorite singer, is because she's fearless to me. Like from the clothing lines to the perfume to the makeup to the music, like changing the hair color, just doing anything. She's fearless to me. And I'm just like, oh, I want to be like that. I just want to be so careless and just whatever happens, happens. And I'm going to just do me and da, da, da. That's what it takes. That's what it takes. But it's hard. I ain't going to sit there and say it's easy.
Oh yeah, it's definitely hard. I mean, for me, I'm like, whoa, like I'm not gonna lie, like every interview that I've done, including this one, I was like very scared to ask. Like I was just
Aww.
because it was just like I didn't, and like it's funny. I was talking to when I talked to Choice, not when I did the my top 10 black directors, right? And he was featured on that one, and I even told Choice during the interview, I did not expect you to respond because all of the other directors that I did they didn't respond. So when Choice responded in the way he responded, I was like, whoa, like I was just blown away. And then from that point on, I was like, I was introduced to all of his family, all of you guys, and I was just like, wow, like it does matter if you step, if you go out that extra mile and just take that leap of faith. And I didn't think I would be able to build the relationships that I've built with you guys, but it was just like I had to meet you guys. I had to try. And I wanted to ask you just a couple more questions because I don't want to keep you too long. But one, what's it like being an actor in Los Angeles where you are, and like going through the trials and tribulations of booking a gig? Because I noticed on Instagram like you're always on set, so I'm like, she must be really good at booking gigs.
CIBTS, SRO, these are really great websites that, like I said, they pay you to do all those things in the audience, laugh, cry, clap, ooh, ah. And it's a great way to be on set, to mingle, to network, and still get paid in between while you're working, looking for actual gigs, movies, theater, short films, commercials, that kind of thing.
Actually really cool. And I know in LA you guys have like there's literally acting gigs almost everywhere. And I wanted to ask you just like two more questions. Well, actually, I have a side question. The Breaking Through workshop, is
Acting
that
workshop.
or acting workshop, is that something that Choice owns? Like, is that his?
Yeah, we are in a space called Young Actors Studio, Young Actor Space, but it's in Van Nuys, and we rent out a room, and like I said, Monday or Friday, and that's Choice's room. That's his class on Monday night, and on Friday night, everybody knows don't go in there. That's Choice's. And yeah, like we come in there and we do our due. Like we handle our business. We get a scene, or sometimes he'll send us a scene prior, or we'll do a code read so that we are just prepared for everything thrown at us on a daily basis. When we're not in class, he prepares us for those moments where they go, okay, that was great. Now, can you give it to us like this? Or can you give it to us with the more this or more cry? And he prepares us for those moments. So we don't go in the audition nervous. He shows you how to get rid of nervousness, where it comes from. So it's the class unlike any other. It's not for everybody. It's very intense, very real, very beautiful. And you do need to come in there with a certain type of spirit and energy to, I think, belong in there.
Yeah. I told him once I like visit Los Angeles, like the first person I'm gonna hit up is Choice and be like, yo, I just want to see your class. Like I don't want to like ask. I want to be a spectator and just see like
Good
what you
luck.
guys do.
Good luck. Spectators are not allowed. You come here, you come to work.
Okay, like I'll record. Like I just want to see like because I'm not gonna lie, like just seeing all of you guys and I follow the majority of you guys. I'm like, y'all are killing. Like my acting ability is nowhere near what you guys put out. I'm like, my God, like
we came in as virginal as the rest of them, and Our confidence is raising every day. The way we maintain, read a script, memorize is going every day. So I don't feel like anybody went in just knowing how to act.
Mm-hmm.
But even if you did, he would be honest and be like, you know what, there's not much I need to show you. You just need the material because some people don't know how to cast you. Sometimes you don't know what you look like to the world,
Mm-hmm.
and he shows you.
Mm-hmm.
You look like a this or you look like a that, and it's not demeaning in any way. It's just very like clear, you know. It's just giving
Mm-hmm.
you like clarity
Mm-hmm.
how to come out in the world, and then build your audience up, build your game up, and then you can start making demands. Then you can start changing up your dynamic and things like that. You know what I mean? But we
Mm-hmm.
all started scared and shaking, holding the paper and not being able to memorize lines. We all were that. Now it takes time for some,
Mm-hmm.
and now we're good. So don't think you can't get there.
Yeah, it's funny. Like when you said that, like I kind of like all I could picture is myself, like because I've never been there, just being there and just like doing exactly what you just said, like looking at the paper, shaking, like what do I say? Like
Oh
I.
no, you're not. You no, there's no. You're not allowed the paper.
Oh, okay. So I'm
You
just
get it?
like,
Yep.
yeah.
You have it memorized in about 10, 15 minutes.
Oh, wow. Wow. Okay. Is that real? Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. But I mean, and when I do come at some point, like I will
Yes.
definitely hit you guys up and be like, yo, I would love to see what you guys do there.
Please.
But
Mondays or Fridays. Yeah.
I would definitely be there. And the last question I wanted to ask, like, because we talked about your creativity and the things that you do on set. What actors do you, I guess, inspire you? Because for me, I did say like when I did my top 10 Black directors choice as an actor did inspire me to be
Hmm.
better. And then like for me, it's always been like a Michael B. Jordan, or for me it would be actually like for comedy, Chris Tucker, Martin Lawrence,
Hmm.
and then for me dramatic wise, Will Smith, or Daniel Day Lewis, or Matthew McConaughey.
Hmm.
um and I like to pull from all those things, and like I'm trying to start my own comedy skit, and I consider
Yeah.
myself funny, but I'm not. I don't know, my wife says I'm not funny, so but yeah. But yeah, where do you guys pull your well, where do you pull your inspiration from other actors or just people you may know?
Man. It's crazy. The first acting class I took, they asked us to do what's called an elevator picture,
Mm,
where we would take the actors that we look like or that we are similar to, and then that way when we go into a room, we'll be like, yes, I'm the next Megan Good, or I can give you some Angela Bassett with a side of Taraji. Like they
mhm,
showed us that.
mhm,
And that was cool to kind of, like I said, get an idea on how the world sees you, because how you see you may not be how the world sees you.
mhm,
And even though it sounds like, oh, that shouldn't matter, it kind of does when you're entering into the entertainment industry.
mhm,
Um, because you do want to please your audience and then go to where you are. Taraji is a great example of somebody who pleased their audience. She played ghetto
mhm,
black for so long. She got her audience, she got her men on her side, she got her women on her side, and then she started doing Benjamin Button, and then she started doing other movies where she called the shots or where she was seen in a different light because she paved her way. She paid her dues. You see what I'm
mhm,
saying? And that's
mhm,
where people were getting messed up. Like, oh, I don't want to be pigeonholed or boxed into one thing. Baby, you might have to be in order to be seen.
mhm,
And then you can work your way out from slave and out from this and out from that, because you're never too good for those roles at the end of the
mhm,
day. And that's something
mhm,
we have to learn. So when you ask me that question, it's hard for me to pull because I know that I can give you a Taraji, I can give you a Kimberly Elise who I adore and I love, but she she don't cry like I do, or she can cry in 10 seconds and I can cry in 30 seconds. I can still cry on cue, but it's going to give me a minute. You got to take me a minute. So I really don't want to compare who I look up to, who I admire, who I aspire to be. Issa Rae. Issa Rae is my top, because she started in Inglewood. I'm from Watts. These are, what some people will call the hood or small town, whatever you want to call it. She showed love to her city with Insecure. She did not forget Inglewood and the beauty that it is, the ugly that it is, the simplicity that it is, whatever you want to call it. And she was honest and true to her topic. She talked about how awkward she is as a Black girl who can't tell if she's Black or African because she's Nigerian. A lot of people don't know that. She talked about that. She talks about what happens in the work environment, with the ghetto girl. Now you got to code switch a little bit. She talked about that, and I respect the level of honesty for her art. And so for me, that's how I write. I want to write the truth, the hard truth, the taboo topics, the things that's hard to talk about, you don't want to talk about, we shouldn't talk about, those things. That's how I write, and that's how I want to continue writing and sharing my art. So Issa is like my top actress, writer, director, all that. Then Taraji, because I absolutely respect her. I've seen the growth that she made, and she's just a phenomenal freaking actress. I don't compare myself though, but Angela Bassett is amazing. Viola Davis is amazing. Kimberly Elise. My gosh, there's so many. And yeah, I guess they're like all sisters. I'm noticing that now. I'm noticing that a little bit. My bad. Goodness, it's Sarah Paulson. God. Even Sandra Bullock's really dope. There's just it's so much great art, actresses, Black or what have you, but Issa would be my top. Like, that's the one that I'm stuck on, and that's who I love, aspire, would love to meet, would love to work with, dream come true. I mean, when they say like, oh, what are your dreams? She's in it.
Yeah.
She's in it. She's presenting me an award, or me and her are walking on stage together, like something like that. That would be goals for real. Because I just love, like I said, her honesty, her realness. So that would be mine.
Okay, no, that's dope. And speaking of goals, like, it's funny that you say that because one of my biggest goals was to meet Stephen Amell, who's the Green Arrow on the Arrow TV show.
Yeah.
And I finally got a chance to meet him here in Orlando. And man, when I met him, like, I didn't realize that the season of Arrow had just ended, and well, that particular season of Arrow had just ended. It's wrapped, and I'm meeting him like maybe weeks after it's wrapped, and he's like really huge. So when I go take a picture with him and I shake his hand, like I was afraid to shake his hand.
Yeah.
Because when you see someone that you've watched on TV for now, I guess 7 years now, I'm like, whoa, like
I'm gonna cry. I have no doubt that if I meet Issa at a Waffle House or something, I'm gonna cry.
Now, I did. It's funny you brought up something, and I just want to get your viewpoint on this because actually I've been talking about this to some of my my acting friends. You said something about paying your dues, and we as actors don't want to be pigeonholed to stuff. For me, I've said on my channel, like if I ever got a chance to play a superhero role, because I love superheroes. Obviously, I love Static, right? If I got a chance to play a superhero, I wouldn't want to be. I guess I wouldn't want to be defined at the fact that all I did was play a superhero when I played all these other films, but people just see me as that superhero. And I heard like Chris Evans say, because he's Captain America, he said, well, the reason why I wanted to stop is because I wanted to pursue other things, which as creators, that's what we want to do. But for me, I'm like, Chris Evans, like that's Captain America. Like even if I were to watch you outside of that, like
Yeah.
I still see Captain America. So how do you feel as an actor? You know, let's say you got cast on a TV show and it goes 8 seasons, and
Yeah.
you're just this character. Like,
Yeah.
would you feel, I guess, constrained by the fact that you're pigeonholed, or do you want
Right.
to be defined as more than just that one role?
Great question. Great question. It's funny you said that because I was actually recently looking at this movie called The Losers, which is
Mm,
a DC movie, and that had Chris Evans, and he was like a whole nother somebody in that movie. It didn't do too well, but I actually liked it.
mm,
And seeing him be this obnoxious, pig-headed person and be like, "That's Captain America," it was hard for me to see him to know that he had something prior or he was a whole other person prior.
mm,
So I understand why you wouldn't want to be painted that image. Will Ferrell is one of my favorite comedians, and I feel like he did Everything Must Go, that movie, to show his drama side. You know what I mean? Stranger Than
mm,
Fiction, I think he was in as well, to show his drama side. So I
mm,
understand why you don't want to feel like this is all you know me as.
mm,
But it's kind of like the people who have one hit wonders, I think.
mm,
You have to not say take the good with the bad, but realize where the blessing is in that.
mm,
It's going to be very hard to see Rick Grimes for Walking Dead as
mm.
anything other than Rick, or
Exactly,
it's really going
exactly.
to be hard. And I feel like that respect that he's gained because he's been in part of this saga is hard to get out of, but there's a blessing somewhere. This is how you've impacted the
Mhm,
world. This is how they know you. This is who they know you as. Now, when you do something else, of course we're gonna watch it. We're gonna support it. We love you. You're a great actor, but you're Rick. Like
mhm,
you're Rick. You're Rick. Sorry, that's
mhm,
just what it is.
mhm,
So when I say Taraji as an example, she did do it for a while, like 5 or 6 years, but then she found a way to get a team to be like, you need to do something else, or we need to see you in a different light. Or she might have said, I want to be able to be an assassin. And she did that movie that she did. You get what I'm saying?
yeah,
So
yeah.
I get where it can totally suck. Who's another one? Regina King.
Mm,
Regina King was like a little girl in 227, I think, or some old,
yeah, yeah. Two
you
two
know.
seven.
And then she did Poetic Justice. Wonder why?
Mhm.
To get that image off of her.
Yeah.
She had the most ghettoest Aisha image, and it was for a reason. And a lot of people do that. So I get it. You want to change it up. But if you don't ever get that opportunity, or if you do have that longevity, which is like unheard of, seasons 9 and 12 and things like that, Game of Thrones at 8, you know what I mean? That longevity is a blessing.
Mhm,
And I just think like you gotta see it as that. And the work don't stop. Just because the season's over, the show's over, the work don't stop. You still gotta put yourself out there, but you also gotta realize how you impacted the world. And
mhm,
that's how they see you. So that's why it's important to
mhm,
know your audience. You don't want to pull a Idris, Idris kind of lost his audience a little bit
mhm.
when he did that mountaintop movie.
Oh yeah,
He
yeah.
did.
That
Nobody
was
saw it. Nobody saw it, and he was with a non-person of color, and there's nothing wrong with that. But that wasn't who his audience was. It was Black women, and I guarantee you, Black women didn't see that movie.
oh
So
no.
that's what I mean. Like you got to know your audience, and you got to really believe like this is what you're doing it for, and there's a reason why. Like I know my audience is gonna be Black men, and hopefully when my show comes out, I can gather the Black women, and they can see like it's more to me.
Mhm.
It's my mind as well. It's the way I write as well, and I can become the next Issa because she's a sex symbol too.
Mm.
Issa's beautiful and a sex symbol too. So she got both people on her side, and that's what I want.
Mhm.
So I just think you gotta roll with the punches. Think of it like a one-hit wonder that lasted for 20 years. That's
Mhm.
what they know you as. You are the womb. There it is. That's
Mhm.
it.
Mhm.
That's it. It's what
Mhm.
you got the womb. There it is, and we love you for it.
Right,
You
right.
know.
Right, and I'm glad you said that because it kind of brought a little clarity to me. Because it's funny, I started thinking about all the other actors who have played some form of a character, whether it's superhero or not. And,
Hmm.
we all know him from that character. But, I thought about what you said. We have to be grateful and thankful for that because, now that I think about it, most actors who are either in TV, movies, or whatever don't get that opportunity to do 6 seasons or 7 seasons. And,
That might be their legacy. It may not be the
right.
legacy they saw for themselves or wanted, but that's usually why we do what we do to maintain that impact, to remain almost immortal. And
Mhm,
that's kind of what you do when you act and you make a stain like that. You become immortal, and that's how we know you as. Same thing
mhm,
with the music. That's how we know you as. That song is forever. You know what I mean? And
mhm,
so there's something beautiful in that, as frustrating as it can be.
mhm.
And that's why you just got to be careful, know your audience, and really stay true to yourself.
Right. Well, and that was very, very inspiring. And I'm glad I got a chance to have you on the show. You were actually the first female black actor on my show that I got to interview, and I'm so glad I got to interview you, Jalysa. You are amazing at what you do. Keep putting out content. Where can the people find you on social media?
Oh, thank you. Facebook is my name, Jalysa Harris, Jally. I'm sure you'll have it somewhere.
Mhm,
And Instagram is actually kind of cool. It's my last name, which is Harris backwards.
mhm,
So it's SIRRAH_JAY. I might change it, but I like it. Everybody just doesn't. I don't go by Harris anything, and for some reason, Sarah just people think that's my name and it fits me, and I'm like, great. So
mhm,
Sarah_J is my Instagram, and then
mhm.
I'm gonna eventually put out my reel, hopefully in the next month, where I have the work that I want to show, how I can cry, how I can give you drama, how I can give you romance, how I can give you all of that, and just slap it all into one. And yeah, I may do a website. I'm hesitant on that one a little bit. I think just being able to find me on YouTube or something seems a little cooler.
Mhm.
But my Instagram, my Facebook, I'm not on Twitter or Snapchat or any of those things. Sorry. It's just not me.
Yeah,
I
I'm not
might
on
get
those
to
things
that.
either.
Yeah, no. Snapchat got cool filters, so I may get it. But for right now, that's where you can find me.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
And
Oh, and then like IMDb Pro. Yeah, IMDb Pro has like my credits as well. So check me out there.
see, I didn't even know you were on IMDb, so I'm glad you shot that out there. So and I'll definitely
Yeah.
take a look at that as well, and I'll include this in our episode today. But I want to thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you.
I Oh, anytime, anytime. I told James that like one day, as I'm planning this forward, I wanted to do like a collaboration with you, James, and Choice and myself about just black actors working in this business. And I'm trying to get that format and try to get
Yeah,
schedules and stuff. But one day I know it will happen if I keep, just keep pressing for it. But I want to thank you once again for being on the show. You
it was
are,
a pleasure.
thank you,
Pleasure.
thank you, and you're super amazing. And I want to thank you guys for watching. If as always, please like, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel, and please follow me on my multiple social medias. And if you haven't already, please go to my Patreon page and support me there on Patreon if you
Yes.
can. I want to thank you guys for watching this episode. Thank you, Jalysa, once again for showing up and
Thank
being a
you.
part of it. Oh, anytime, anytime. And as always, you guys have a blessed day. Thank you guys for watching this video. Go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube page to get more exclusive content coming from my YouTube channel. And if you want to watch my previous videos, go ahead and click on this video up here or this video down here, where you get to see more exclusive content coming from my channel. Thank you guys for watching this video, and you guys have a blessed day.